The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
Hey, welcome to Teed Up with Phil and Cindy. Show number 20, Cindy.
Stop it.
We're on number 20.
Holy moly.
I
think Steve should get some kind of prize, or it should be like confetti and balloons.
Well, everybody
20.
gets the mug, so
Yeah.
that's the prize.
That's your
of
party
that's
gift.
That's the prize of the day.
You're so lucky.
But number 20, Cindy.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
We got 20 in.
Yes.
They're going really well. We thank you for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe.
Hit that subscribe.
Today, we have Steve Abbott on our show. Welcome, Steve.
Thanks
Welcome,
for having
Steve.
It's glad to see you. I know how busy you are. You're always working
Always
on
doing
stuff.
Something, yeah.
I have, and notice I don't have my laptop today.
I know. I was going to say, where is it, Phil?
I left it home. I
God,
remembered the
you're
mug
out of
and not the
sorts.
laptop.
He's going to be out of sorts today, Rich, without his
No.
friggin' laptop.
But we'll do a little bit of Steve's bio because we always do the bio. Steve is a talented American film, stage, and voice actor who began acting after college, working in L.A., Chicago, and New York City. Very impressive. Studied and performed at Chicago's Second City Conservatory program, UCLA, and taught acting in L.A. and Chicago. He has a wide range of film and television roles, has acted in several award-winning short and independent films, and has appeared in over 100 commercials. And there are a lot of them listed here. And we're going to try to talk about a lot of these things. We were telling Steve before we started, talk about whatever you want, but plug what you're doing today.
We want to know the big things, right?
We know Steve splits a little time between Buffalo and Florida. Welcome to the show, Steve. We're
Thanks
glad
for
you're
having
here.
me. I'm glad to be here.
We finally got you
You're
on.
a Buffalo guy, though, right?
I am, yeah.
Like you were born here,
Born
right?
and raised, formative years,
Yeah.
as we like to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you like better, Buffalo or Florida?
Oh,
Or
please.
Get the answer right.
In about a month.
Well, we're gonna
Depends what time of year.
we are gonna bring something up, but it's at the end of the show, and it's gonna be a little surprise.
All right.
It concerns the Chris incident.
Great.
Because we
keep
know
that
someone.
going.
We
Yeah.
found out you were with him.
Yeah.
But we'll talk
Yeah,
about that
that's-
towards the end of the show.
Okay. Yeah.
So
All right.
tell us a
That
little
sounds
bit
good.
about yourself, Steve. Welcome to
Yeah.
the show. And tell us, how did you get started in acting?
Yeah.
You're from Buffalo, New York,
Yeah.
and the Western New York area.
Yeah.
What did you do? Where'd you go to high school and then college?
Let's see. I went to high school at Williams of South High School.
South guy,
I
huh?
was South guy, yeah. And we could talk. This could be a whole podcast.
I did not know
too.
that.
Yeah, I told this story. We were at the. I went to the Bills game Thursday night.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of grief at the.
We'll mention
save
that later.
I'll
We'll
save
save
Yeah.
that
But,
story.
It's his story.
I was talking about how what's his name, the Newport guy, Daryl Johnson.
Yes.
Right. How Daryl.
the most.
Right. He.
Yeah.
Williams of South played
Yeah.
Newport in '83 or '84.
Yeah.
And Daryl. That was the only time we lost in Rich Stadium.
Yeah.
And we were number one in the state all 4 next
Yeah.
year. So we were really good. Football. I was a jock in high school.
Yeah.
So football, basketball, and then in college also. And
In college football and basketball?
I played basketball a year and I ended up running track for 4 years.
Was
And where'd
it
you go to college?
Wittenberg University in Ohio. Small little liberal arts school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like Kenyon and Baldwin Wallace and all those Ohio schools were in our conference.
So was that a degree in film? Or-
I majored in communication and business.
Okay.
And that was the funny thing is I was a captain of the track team my senior year, and all my thespian friends were doing plays, and they're like, "Come do it." I'm like, "I can't. I'm the captain of the track team. I can't."
Right, yeah.
You know.
Can't do everything.
Right. So they were. It's funny. God, I haven't thought about this in forever, but like 5 of us went out and said, "All right, we're gonna do this." My buddy Brendan, shout out Brendan. I just texted him today. Brendan, Mikey, Jack. God, it's funny. I didn't expect to talk about this, but this is good. Jason and myself. Jason could act circles around all of us. He's from Chicago. He's theater trained, and he's more talented than all 4 of us put together. Couldn't get a job to save his life when we started, and then he got a little bit. Now he runs a theater in Los Angeles. Brendan, extremely handsome man, so he ended up doing soap operas. Go figure.
Wow.
And he's still out in L.A. plugging away. My buddy Mikey, he teaches guitar now. He's incredibly talented. And Jack, who is from New York City, gave it a shot in New York City, trained like crazy. Again, just didn't fall through from now. Him and his wife own a yoga studio. And I was the one who kind of worked all the time.
So
you know
you
what
weren't
I mean?
into acting when
Not,
you went
that's
to
what I'm
school,
saying.
yeah.
No, I dove
but
into the fire.
all your
yeah.
friends were.
Yeah.
Oh, that is crazy.
So that was the thing, and
That's
I
kinda
dove.
bizarre.
If I could
Yeah.
have, I was just talking about this the other day. If I could have done it differently, I probably would have went to Chicago first and got training, and then went back to LA. But I jumped right in the fire and went to LA.
You went
So,
right to LA.
I went
So
right to
without
LA.
any
The mi-
experience.
Yeah, that's. I was thinking
So,
about
but
that. Yeah.
what you're like, okay, my friends do acting,
Yeah.
so I think I could do it.
I know that's always the question. Like,
And
what was?
did
the
you go out
drive?
there by yourself?
Yeah. It
Oh,
was
my
was
gosh.
literally the minute I graduated and got the okay from my dad. I'm like, I'm out. You know.
And right to LA.
Right to LA. Yeah.
To do what though?
Yeah.
Like you thought, oh, I'm gonna go out and I'm
Right.
gonna
Right.
for acting. Like you
That
went
was
to
the
school
wake-up
for
call.
communication.
Oh, this is a funny story too. I have
So
to
tell us what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah,
you
this
go
is
out to LA.
crazy.
So one of my
Like no experience.
So right, yeah, no. This is actually a good story, and I think about it. But again, this is 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You know? So anyway, so a mutual friend, my mom and her daughter was set up in Los Angeles, had a job and had a place. So I had a place to stay. So that was good.
Oh, yeah.
But the first audition I went to, I booked it. So
Wow.
What was it for?
I can't. It's so funny. I knew you were going to ask, and I can't remember. I can't. It's so sad. I can't remember, and I should know.
Wait, so
But
no
it was
experience?
One, it was
you
one
just
of those
walk in.
open casting call when they used to have those open
Yeah,
casting calls,
yes.
and there was 300 of us, and I didn't even have a headshot. Now I think about it, it's the first audition I ever went to ever.
So you probably didn't even know what to do.
I didn't know what
you
to do
sit
at
with
all.
these people.
Yeah, no. What did I have going for me? I was tall. I was probably better looking back then.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Isn't it crazy? And then it was funny because I went back and
you
And-
booked
So you
it.
booked
Yeah,
your
so I
very
go-
first audition.
So I go, this is how I did it. So it's 300 people, then down to like 150, down to 100, then down to 10. And we're there like all day. And then the thing was like you get that was the thing. I got my SAG card right away. So I got an agent and a SAG card just by doing that. That really helped.
So was it a
That's
series
crazy.
or just one show that you?
One show and it was a movie and I can't remember the name.
No
of it
kid,
now.
and
yeah.
you got the
off
SAG
of one
card,
audition.
an
Yeah.
agent, and off of one audition.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you
that's
got a
incredible.
SAG card?
That's when
you
I-
got a SAG card,
What-
an agent?
What
Yeah.
year was this? 84?
93.
93.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
Isn't that nuts? Yeah. So then they they cut down to 10, then they cut down to like 2 of us.
Yeah.
And I have my little picture, and this other guy's got a headshot. He's
Yeah.
from, this I do remember. He was from Texas. And the casting director acknowledged him first. So I'm like, holy crap, I got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the guy shakes my hand. The other actor shakes my hand. He's like, congratulations. Like he was so much more seasoned than I was
Yeah.
and everything.
Oh,
I
wow.
can't remember the movie now. Is that horrible?
So it was like a big movie,
Yeah.
obviously, if you got a SAG
exactly.
card.
Like, you get like 5. It was like, it was
Listen.
an under 5. You get 5 days on it. God, I haven't thought about this in forever. But then I went back. Sorry, I'm like second way. But that was the thing. Like when I went back and started taking acting class and started doing that stuff in 95 and 96, that's why I was like, we're all talking like the hardest thing to do is get an agent and get your SAG card.
Right.
And like it kind of landed on my lap.
That's
so I'm
insane.
like, all right, let me do this.
So then from that day,
Yeah.
you had an agent looking for work for
Right,
you out
exactly.
in LA.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how much work did you
I was
end
going
up?
to say that's funny too because I heard Luke. What was it? He passed away. The guy from 90210, Luke Perry.
Yeah.
Luke Perry talking about this too because he went on 26 something auditions before he got something.
Right.
And that's the same thing happened to me. It's like I didn't get anything for like forever, and
After
then
the first one.
right after the first one, and then I got again it was so much different back then, like
Yeah.
30 years ago.
So you were like 21.
25. Yeah.
Okay, 25.
Yeah, 20. No, it was like 20. That's right, 30 years ago. 20. Yeah, early 20s.
Wow.
But I was thinking about this because I always say my career didn't really start till 95 because
Yeah.
like SAG card agent work, and then I went and worked on Diagnosis Murder, the Dick Van Dyke Show in Denver, and they did. It was funny because again I should have probably prepared because I haven't thought about this in forever. But there was 13 episodes, and they had me doing under 5s in each episode. It was weird. It was like
Wait, what do you mean under 5s?
two like under 5 lines.
Oh,
So
okay.
like
okay.
one episode I played a reporter.
Oh,
the next
okay.
episode I played a cop. The next episode I played, and they would just work me into
That's so
every
funny.
episode.
Like, so
yeah.
you're in every episode,
Yeah, that was
but
the
a
thing.
different person.
And we'd watch. I got to tell this story.
Wait,
fast.
did you
This
get
is
to
funny.
meet Dick Van Dyke?
Oh yeah, no, that was my first because it was so funny because they're like, don't take his energy away, and he's still alive. He's like 99 or
Oh,
something.
my
Yeah,
God.
don't take his energy away. The guy's
Yeah.
at 99 years old.
Right, and that was 30 years ago, 69. But he had so much energy. Like, don't talk to me. Get on set. I met Dick Van Dyke. I met Anston Wims. That's Potsy from Happy Days.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
He was directing. Scott Baio. He was on the show at the time. So I get to meet all those guys. And
Wow.
Anthony Williams was the nicest. He was a director, and he was kind of...
Oh, he was directing that.
Yeah.
episode.
So he's like, hey,
The
here's
episode.
how it works. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
Because
that's
you had
really good.
you didn't really.
I was new. I was green. Yeah.
So was that your second job?
It was
Your
my
se-
second
Oh
job.
my
So
God!
what
you
was
hooked it
well?
up.
So
Right.
and they flew you to Denver, and
I
that's
moved to Denver.
and
Yeah.
that's where the show was based on.
The show was, they're shooting in Denver. The nice thing about that is my cousin from Williamsville was living in Denver, so again, I had a place
Oh
to
my
work. Yeah, it
God.
was just
Wow.
That's
Oh.
crazy.
And I could walk. I got to tell the story about my Chicago stand-in work too, because the same
Well,
similar thing happened. But yeah, so I worked in for 13 episodes. It was funny because we were young, and then we'd watch the episode it was on, and then we'd go out to drink. But they're like, "Oh, there's your hand. There's
Yeah.
your blah, blah, blah." Oh, there you are. Because a couple episodes I had speaking roles, because I went there one time. They're like, "Just walk down the stairs and come out of the cop station." I'm like,
Right.
"Okay,"
Yeah.
but I was making money and getting paid. I mean, it was a decent gig.
No
Wow.
And it
kidding.
was like this money was like it literally fell in my lap. It was like 13 episodes. Then I got to see how the show worked, et cetera, and it was a nice. It was awesome, actually.
So
when I look back.
still, you
Yeah.
had no acting experience.
Right,
No
correct.
acting classes. No training.
That's what I'm saying. So I went. That's what I mean. So after the Zora, I went back to LA and trained. I have to tell this funny story though. Why I was in Denver. So I'm in Denver, and then I got a part. I haven't thought about this in forever too. I got a part in. They redid. Not Diagnosis Murder. That was a show I was on. I can't remember. Oh, Paul. What was the thing Perry Mason was on? What was that show called? The Perry Mason
Perry
show.
Mason.
Yeah,
right,
the Perry Mason, yeah.
show. So Paul, who's the guy from Goodfellas? Paul. He just passed away too. The guy that played Paul in Goodfellas. Sorvano or Sorvano? Yeah.
Paul Sorvino.
Paul Sorvino.
Paul Sorvino.
Sorvino is doing a.
Oh, I love
a
that
Perry,
guy.
He's playing Perry Mason.
Yeah.
I played. Oh gosh, I can't remember. A reporter. Had lines. My cousin from Williamsville, and he's good looking.
Yeah.
He's like, get me in. I'm like, you can play an extra. You can play an
Yeah.
extra. So I call my agent. I'm like, hey, can you call the cast and director to see if we can play an
This
extra?
is still in Denver,
This is
though.
in Denver, yeah. Just as I'm about to leave.
Okay.
So yeah, it was just they're like, hey, go audition for this. I'm like, okay.
Right.
I went and auditioned. I booked the role. It was a reporter. That's right. So I have my lines. I learn my lines. Me and Kurt go there, and then this is 95 before everything before you could record stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, I get cut. And you can't even see me. You see Kurt all over the place.
Oh.
So my mom, and I remember I called my mom.
Yeah.
And all
I'm
my
gonna be on,
relatives.
Mom, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
No, my mom was like, next time you're on TV, maybe you should let us know you're actually be on.
Yeah.
I had Uncle Bill stay up.
Yeah.
I had cousin stay up. I'm like, I didn't know. And Kurt's his face was like everywhere.
Oh,
Where's
my
Steve?
God.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
I got totally
So
cut.
then, after
Yeah.
Denver, you
Yeah.
went
Back to LA.
You went back to LA.
Yeah.
When
Training.
did you
Yeah,
go to
training.
Chicago?
Chicago.
It says I'm looking
Yeah,
99.
99, yeah. So I went back to LA 96, 97. That was a struggle, really. 96, 97, 98 in LA, just bouncing
LA
around.
was a struggle?
Yeah. It's
Getting
yeah.
work?
Yeah, it's so competitive out there. I mean, that's the nice thing about LA. There's always something going on, but
Yeah.
you're going, you're
Again,
So you mean
a
with
million
this nice
people.
face? Okay,
Yeah.
Can I move down? I just need hair. Everybody you're talking about, all these guys are good. They probably all have hair too. So I don't know, man. Maybe I'll just go
But
to
so
that hair thing.
that's so interesting because, most people train
Right. That's
for
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
And you just walked right in
Right.
and had no experience. So then, when you were in LA, obviously you had to have another job, right?
Yeah.
A little
Yeah,
or no?
Okay. Bartending, waiting tables.
So same
Yeah.
same story as every
Right.
actor.
Well, it's funny though because it's true. It's so flexible,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of and my roommate at the time, he paid. And we were both waiters, but he paid me like the nicest compliment. He was like, "You're the only one I see on TV. None of these other people are on TV. So keep doing it." I'm like,
Aw.
"Okay," because everyone was always taking. I don't know. I could talk about this all
Yeah.
day long, but everyone's taking off, making a bigger deal than it is or whatever.
Did
It's
you-
like I'm just about to.
When you were in LA waiting tables and things,
Yeah.
was there anybody
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like a big star?
Oh
now
yeah.
That you,
yeah. So it was Kelly Preston, who's John Travolta's wife.
Oh, yeah.
And what was really funny because I was
Really?
waiting. Yeah, I was waiting on her. Oh, I waited on a ton of celebrities because I lived in Brentwood and I worked right down the street, and they all lived there. I
I've
got
been to the
lucky.
Mezzaluna.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. near
Oh,
there.
Brentwood, yeah.
Yeah. So that whole little pocket right there.
Yeah.
It's such a great area. It's such a good time.
But
in
when
my
you
life,
were
too.
working as a,
Yeah.
the waiting tables,
Oh, I
were
got
there other
friends
other waiters that
Wait, are they
have
cheap?
made it big
I got no.
that you
No.
know? No.
No. Yeah. No.
It's just you, but you met a lot of people as you were working.
Like I waited on. Oh my God, this is so. Dom DeLuise, I'll tell that story. He was hysterical. Of course, he was hysterical. So Kelly Preston.
he
was.
And
Yeah.
the minute I told her, I was like ripping off John Travolta's Rad. So she's like, "Oh my God, you are a fan." I'm like, "I'm a huge fan."
Yeah.
So it was like Kelly Preston. I'm trying to think. But Dom DeLuise was really funny because I told, and I didn't talk about the acting when I was there.
Yeah.
But he's like, "What are you so worried?" There was, party of four, and he's so flamboyant. He's freaking hysterical. He's making me laugh the entire time. He would say stuff like, "Bring bread. We love bread."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just laughing. And he goes, "Why are you so worried?" I'm like, I got a really big audition tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he goes, "What's it for?" I'm like, I'm playing a cop. I'm playing a hard ass cop. And he goes, "Do it. Go ahead." And I said it like slow and low. He goes, "Ooh," like that. Ooh.
So you did your audition for Dom
I literally
DeLuise.
did my audition for Dom DeLuise.
That is so
Wow.
cool.
But he was
man.
really funny. He's like, "Do it like that. Do it like that."
Who wouldn't like Dom DeLuise?
Wait.
He's
So
hilarious.
our stars
Yeah.
are like the big stars. Are they generous?
It depends who it is.
Yeah.
And you always hear this, it really depends who it is.
That's so interesting.
Tracy Chapman. Michael J. Fox's wife was really generous.
Yeah.
I met her. See, I'm not going to say.
I just met her doing
Super nice.
the Bill's Holiday movie she was on.
Oh, she was on that?
She was on it, and I did stand-in work for 8 days. I was Joe Pantaleone's,
Nice.
Pantaleone's, however you pronounce Joey Pants.
Yeah, Joey
I was
Pants.
his stand-in for 8 days.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, and it was
Can
it
see
was
that.
quite the experience, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
I've lucked out, and you know what? I really only started doing this about 4 years ago, and 2019. I don't know if you know Bill Kennedy.
Yeah.
Well, Billy kind of got me into doing it a little bit, and it's kind of snowballed. And but I've been very lucky in some of the things I've gotten to do. Not as big as that, but yeah, I got 8 days as stand-in work, and it was quite the different experience. And doing background or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're in LA. What prompted you to move now to Chicago?
Now this is funny. I heard John Hamm talking about this the other day. I had so many tickets on my car that they impounded my car. 1998 ish. I know.
Yeah.
And he could. I was broke, so I couldn't pay it.
Yeah.
It was like
So they're
$1,800.
like in your glove compartment.
Yeah,
just
literally.
pile.
Yeah.
I have a friend like that. Opened it, all the
Yeah.
shit flies out. Yeah.
God. I got one the other day. I got a ticket, and I haven't had a ticket probably in 15 years. I couldn't pay that thing fast enough.
Yeah.
I literally was asking.
Oh, I know, because
what do I have to do?
Yeah.
Right.
Because then they charge you this
Yeah,
and this,
right.
and it goes up and up.
And that's what happened.
Would you
Yeah.
leave your car in LA and
I
move to
did.
Chicago?
I literally did. No, I did.
Really?
Yeah, I did. And I'm like, okay, I need public transportation, so I'm going to New York
Yeah.
or Chicago.
Yeah.
So I went to New York. It was so expensive that I'm like, okay, I can't
Yeah.
live here. And then Chicago. And then again, that serendipitously. Sorry, I'm babbling.
No, you're
But
fine.
that serendipitously worked out because I got an apartment right across the street from Second City, and it was just perfect, and everything fell into my lap. And then right after that, I did stand-in work for Jim Belushi for 21 days on what was it called? Return to Me was the movie. But and it was in my neighborhood, so I got to walk out.
Oh,
for
wow.
it was it was awesome, and all my college buddies were living in the neighborhood. They're coming over, and Minnie drivers are so like, "Queen Minnie Driver." I'm like, come on
no
over.
kidding.
Yeah.
They're all drooling over her, and I'm like, her stand-in's actually nicer and better looking than she
Yeah.
is. You want me to her stand-in, but that's the cool thing about doing stand-in work is that you get to see how the set works. You get to, you know what I
It
mean?
was very.
Yeah, you're right up close.
You're up close.
You're
yeah.
up
You're
close,
in the
yeah.
mix, and
You're in the mix, right?
You're in the
Yeah.
mix, and well, I know you know this, and Cindy knows. You know how the hierarchy works,
Right.
and the rungs, and I always say if you make it to the makeup chair, now you're actually kind of somebody now.
Oh, yeah,
You-
yeah.
You know what I mean? The makeup
Yeah.
chair, but the stand.
Yeah, I had dirt on me in Cabrini.
The
Does
stand-in,
that count?
well, the stand-in work, you are right. Like there
Right.
were 3 stand-ins, and you're standing with
Right.
Steve Shrippa and
Right.
and the rest of them, everybody that was there for this film, that Bill's film. And so it was quite the experience to see how things work, really work.
Right.
You know what I mean? But so you're in Chicago,
Yep.
you're doing films, you're standing in for Jim Belushi,
Yep.
and the Second City experience.
Yeah, Second City was awesome. It was like graduate school. And I have to say this real quick because what you just said, I was a stand-in for Dan Aykroyd also on Unconditional Love. And he said what you kind of just said here is the game is to get makeup on and get in front of the camera.
Yeah.
That's the
Right.
thing. You
It's
know,
the
and
makeup chair. You
haven't
got to
had
make.
that yet.
You
Damn
got to
it.
get to the makeup
I
chair.
just-
That's what he's.
I
That's
gotta
literally
get
what
to
he
the
said.
makeup chair.
Yeah.
He was the
real
coolest.
Someone else's makeup chair other than my own.
It was funny because Belushi, I'm not a huge Belushi fan, but his improv skills were unbelievable. And then Aykroyd was so cool because he's like, come into my trailer. I'm like, I have to get some autographs from my friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, come into my trailer. And he just talked to me for like 20 minutes.
Wow.
Like, he didn't need to share that time with me. But he's like, here's what you should be focused on. I said, okay. But yeah, Second City was awesome. I looked at it like.
Tell us,
yeah, go
tell
ahead.
tell
Yeah.
us what exactly Second City is, because I'm sure
Yeah.
a lot of people don't even know what it
Yeah,
is.
no, Second City. I mean, basically, it's improv. You
Okay.
know,
So
skits,
people go
yeah.
to watch it.
Oh yeah, 100.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Their shows.
So that's what
know.
you were working as.
Yeah.
As improv.
Yes.
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
So I went through. There's several different areas. I guess there's an A through E for basic. There's a improv for actors. I took that one also. That's what I taught out in L.A. And then the conservatory program. Now the conservatory program, there's stages. So there's 5 steps. Where I can't do this again. This is 30 years ago, so I can't really remember. But I do remember like 2.
It's like therapy.
Two,
Steve.
right?
Dig into
One,
it.
you're just learning the basics.
Yeah.
Who, what, where,
Yeah.
scene structure, be agreeable. Second level is you're doing character work, so you're breaking down certain characters you want to work on. That's just fun. Third's kind of fine tuning. I remember fourth is the writing, and then the 5th is when you start performing and go on the stage.
But you have to be accepted into that, right?
Yeah, yeah, you got to
So,
audition.
I mean, because that's like
Yeah.
a kind of a big. I mean, that's a
yeah.
big thing.
I had 2. That's why I had to audition twice. So the first time I went through, I got in. The second time, because I only went to level 3 the first time I was through. Then the second time I get in, I had a killer audition. I just remember. It's funny.
How do you prepare for something like
You
that?
can't because it's improv. You really
Yeah.
can't unless you want to pull some. We were talking about this the other day because we were improvising.
Yeah.
Unless you want to pull some old characters out of the hat or like pull some kind of go-tos or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't prepare.
Yeah.
You know, you just go in the training that you've learned or whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember I was telling this story the other day. Like, one of the things is just be yes and be agreeable.
Yeah.
And the 2 other people in the scene were kind of denying me. And it was kind of like a boiler room scene where we were like cold calling.
Was that on
people.
purpose that they did
No,
that?
no, not at all.
Oh, okay.
They just happened to just not being agreeable.
Oh,
So
okay.
the scene was a like we were cold calling, and I was like playing like an Alec Baldwin character from like Glengarry Glen Ross. So I'm being
Kinda
like
look
this
like Alec
straight
Baldwin,
up,
yeah.
hard ass guy.
Yeah.
But they're like, I can't get through, and I'm like, oh, you have to dial a 9 first. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm trying to move the scene forward the
Yeah.
whole time. Oh, we can't do it. I'm like, oh, did I forget to pay my bill? So I'm
Yeah.
trying to be
Right,
able to move the
right.
scene forward. I have to tell a funny story because I love the story actually. Because this is when I did learn about level. But anyway, I got accepted back in after
Yeah.
my audition, and I can't remember what it was. And then, but I got to level 4. So like when I was at level 4, which is the writing level, I didn't get to the next level. But as I was going through, they call it the ETC stage. That's the etc. stage. So that's the stage I was performing on. But on the main stage of that time, like it was like Rachel Dratch and Tina Fey was like traveling right there. I used to Jason
Wow.
Statham, because that's what I'm saying. Even those guys are younger than me, like they were like seniors, and I was kind of like a sophomore,
Right,
junior.
yeah.
But I got to see those guys. I went there on all the free shows on Friday and Saturday just to watch them perform. And I can't remember his name. The blonde guy from 30 Rock, Jax. I don't know. He was hysterical too. He was
The
there.
younger kind of guy?
I know. Who you
Like
mean.
tall. Yeah, I think,
he's
yeah,
tall,
yeah.
thin, blonde
yeah,
guy.
Yeah.
I just can't think of his name right now.
Yeah.
And then I saw Jimmy Fallon come in, and again, I'm not a huge Jimmy Fallon fan. But
Yeah.
my God, he was spinning everything. He was hysterical. If someone threw him something that wasn't that great, he'd spin it something good. I'm like, oh my God, these guys are. There's a reason why they got to where they got.
Yeah.
And then who else did I? Jason Sudeikis, he was really good. But yeah, I got to watch those guys all the
Wow.
time. Yeah. But
That's
I
crazy.
yeah, it is crazy.
So now Chicago.
Yeah.
And where are we at after Chicago?
Yeah. Well, I got to tell this story because this is
Tell the story.
it's such a good improv story. So we're like level 4, and we're doing our show we're doing our show. And again, at this point of the game, you shouldn't be denying. Okay, so I was playing a park ranger, and I'm leading 2 women up the mountain. And the whole time they're denying me, I can't do this, I can't do that, and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, I'm just spinning into a positive. And we're about at the top of the mountain, and the one girl goes, I have to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, well, go ahead. We're in nature. Knock yourself out, go. And she's like, well, I'm just afraid to go. I'm like, well, actually, my backpack turns into a toilet. Here's a little porta potty toilet.
yeah.
So I'm trying to spin everything.
Right.
I'd done that the entire scene.
Yeah.
And the scene's dying.
Yeah.
And then so the director... And he was not like.
Wait, was this was live? Like
yeah,
people
that's
were
right.
watching?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
People are
okay.
watching. It's live.
Right.
It's our performance
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
And they're still not getting it, right?
Right.
And and again, this director's really laid back, which makes it even funnier. But anyway, then she goes, "I'm just not sure what to do or whatever." And then he goes, "Put on the fucking backpack and get up the goddamn mountain." It's so funny. And everyone started laughing.
And that had to break the ice a little bit.
Absolutely did. Then we get to the top, and I broke a cardinal rule. I left the scene. I go, oh, here's my chairlift. Bye. And I left, and everyone started applauding because they felt my pain.
Yeah.
But that's that, and then I'm going to segue.
That's got to be a killer when you're in a improv scene.
Because it's 3
and
minutes.
nobody's working off each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
listening to each other.
Well, they were
Improv's-
terrible scene partners.
but
Let's
they
just
were-
put it out there.
That's what
Improv
I'm
is
trying to
about
say.
Yeah.
listening.
It really is.
It's about listening to the other people in the scene.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like you said, and playing off it.
Well, because then it gets boring if they
Right.
keep. Yeah, it's
and
like
if they give you nowhere to
sleeping
go,
in
you're
the
like,
audience.
you're like,
Yeah.
what?
And the relationship.
Chris talks
the
about that,
relationship
your buddy
with the
Chris.
people. I was talking to Chris about this the other night because I did a pop-up thing the other night, and we're improvising. And like what you never do is talk about something off stage or talk about someone else. So if you and I are in a scene, we're not going to talk about Cindy. We have to talk about what's going on with us because that's
Right.
interesting.
Yeah.
So they were doing anyway. The group I was with was doing a lot of that. They're talking about that person. I'm like, don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Talk about Anyway.
Oh, that had to be a killer. You must have been just
Oh,
like
I was-
sweating.
I
and going,
was. It
oh
was
my God,
brutal.
get me out of here.
It was
Where's that chairlift?
I'm
It's the
out.
only time I've ever done it. Only time I've ever gone. Bye.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So okay,
Yeah.
so Chicago.
Yep.
And then what's after
And
Chicago?
then I went to LA, and then that was.
You
and
went
that's
back
when-
So back to LA.
Back to LA.
And
And
then
that-
that's when you taught.
That's when, that's when
Okay.
things really took off for me.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's my ex's birthday today. Happy birthday!
Happy
Big 50.
birthday. Wow.
Caitlin's mom. It was funny. I just texted her, and then she goes, "Where is the time gone?" I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was the thing. Like I went there. We went there, I should say. My daughter was born in Burbank, in the same hospital as John Ritter. That's her claim to fame. But again, I had
Love
my
John
training. It
Ritter.
was funny. It's I was thinking about this because like I was just Rich Telrico. I always looked up. These guys were booking. These guys I was always auditioning against. They were all booking, and I'm like, well, I got to get better. What are they? What am I not doing? I just have to get better.
Yeah.
So I honed all my skills. I got everything everything on point. Went back to LA, and again, that's when things took off. And that was like 2002.
So what kind of
Yeah.
things were you?
I booked 6 national commercials in 2003. It was right when Caitlin was born, so it's like, all right,
Wow.
that's when
So
things were good.
can you name a couple of the national commercials?
Oh yeah, for
Well,
sure. Yeah.
Wait a minute before you do
Yeah,
that. So,
yeah.
did you get married in Chicago or back in LA?
No, we didn't get married. We were young. We were.
But you were,
yeah.
but you were together.
We were together. Yeah. She was 23
from
and I
LA
was 30.
Did you meet her here or in LA?
We
or-
met in Chicago.
Oh, you met her
Yeah.
in Chicago.
Yeah.
So now she goes back to LA with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're like, oh yeah,
Let's
that
get
was
this.
all.
I'm just trying to.
No,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
No, there
I'm
was
trying
nothing.
to even out this story.
Yeah, no, it's a great story. No, it's funny. No, we'll get real now. Like she just lost her job, and there was nothing keeping her in Chicago. And I'm like, I want to go back.
Let's
to-
go.
But
yeah,
she's
let's
from
go.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Her family's there.
Yeah. Oh, that was the whole. That's why we're not together.
Oh,
But
okay.
that was the whole. Talk about therapy. That's
Right,
what we're talking
right,
about.
right.
The whole time we're in LA, she wants to go back.
Yeah, sure, because her family's there, right?
Well,
yeah.
this is funny too. We'll talk about that. I can't do this.
Well, okay. So
But this really happened.
Yeah.
you
We
go
were in
from
therapy.
Chicago to
Yeah.
LA.
I want to hear
and-
about the therapy.
Hey,
No, it's
well,
good.
well,
I'll talk
you
about
can add that in.
Yeah,
So you're in LA now, and you
Right.
book these national
Right,
commercials,
right.
and like Cindy said,
Yeah.
because now you got a young daughter,
Right.
and you're
Oh, I got a great story.
And a
So-
wife who wants to
so-
go, or a girlfriend that wants to go back
so
home.
what
Right.
what
Yeah.
kind of stuff did you book? Like,
Yeah.
tell
Oh,
us.
I got
man,
some
tell
great
us.
story. Again, this is the not my niche, but my best run was 2008, where I did not have to have a job. You know, I just
Wait,
was
from
working.
2000 to
About
2000
but really 2002, right before my daughter was
to
born.
2008.
To about 2008 was just acting.
So it was just that's how you supported
Yeah.
yourself, doing
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Because I remember my mom came this morning like, "Don't you need to get a job at a restaurant?" I'm like, "I don't need to do anything. I got
Yeah.
commercials." Right.
So
But
that's
we went
that's
to-
a good span.
Oh yeah, no, it
Yeah.
was a great time in my life. But that was okay. So we go to this therapist, a female therapist.
Yeah.
Who I know.
You're gonna
this
tell
is-
the story.
Well, I'm going to tell the story.
Well,
'cause
you can tell it.
I told it a couple months ago, but I
And
don't
what's her name, though,
I don't
before you tell the story?
I don't
What's-
talk
what-
about.
What's your ex-wife?
Oh, I don't say her name.
Yeah.
All right, well, don't say her name, but
Yeah.
whoever you are, subscribe.
Yeah. Well, we know if we get mad at Steve, we can send the tape.
Right.
Subscribe. Okay, I'm sorry. Tell
No,
your
it's
story.
okay. No, it's just I don't tell this. I don't like talk about personal stuff, but it's funny
it's
looking
fine.
back. So, all right. So we go to I don't know, a female in my whatever the female therapist like, you have to stay here. No, sorry, I did that vice versa. Sorry, we went to a male therapist in the Screen Actors Guild union. You know, he was covered. You know, so
Because
right.
health
So he said to her, he just booked 6 NAS commercials and 2 TV shows.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, what's wrong? And she never went to another.
Oh.
Right. So she didn't go to another session.
He's on your side.
Right. He took my
Yeah.
side exactly.
Yeah.
And then
I gotta say, he's right.
it's
though.
right.
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 Yeah.
He just
I mean,
said
what
it
are
like
you
it
gonna do?
was, and
Yeah.
I didn't know how good it was, and I'll spin back to my auditions because I really want to. And then we went to a female therapist of her choosing, and she said the same thing. You
Oh,
know?
wow,
And
yeah.
she never went back there.
Well, I
and-
mean, that's
and
your
we-
livelihood, right? How
Right.
can you?
Right. You go. It doesn't matter what
Yeah.
industry and wherever you're
Yeah.
wherever
Wow,
you're paying
yeah.
the bills. That's where you go.
So when you book, maybe you could tell us a
Yeah,
couple of the
no,
national
I will.
commercials. You get
Yeah.
if it airs
Residuals.
Yeah.
This
so
one-
you
this is a great story. I'm going to
Okay,
to
go
it.
ahead.
Yeah. Now I feel like a news anchor. Yes,
Yeah.
Cindy. No, so here's what happened. So I booked a Hellman's. Oh, this okay. So I booked okay, so this is 2003, right before my daughter's born. I booked I can't remember the first one. Hellman's.
mayonnaise.
Yeah, Hellman's mayonnaise,
Okay.
right. They did a dipping sauce, okay?
Yeah.
Now, there's so many funny parts of this story, but anyway, Hellman's dipping sauce. All I'm doing is eating dip, but it's Hellman's on the East Coast and Best Foods on the West Coast, and then they splice the 30-second spot into 15-second spots of me just going, "Wow, this is delicious."
Yeah.
So instead of getting paid one national commercial for Hellman's, I got paid for 6 commercials. Yeah, it was the most money I ever made. Yeah, so that one commercial turned into about 6. So
Holy
that
moly!
that was awesome.
And
yeah.
did you still have the same agent?
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is a cool story too,
Okay.
because then I go to the agency and and then the accountant goes, "You need to learn your business." I said, "I do," because I was making money.
Yeah.
you know. And the cool thing was, at the same time, I had this is funny. I haven't thought about this in forever too, but I had the same agent, or agency, I should say, as Burt Reynolds. And then Dan Castellaneta, who's Homer Simpson. And this is 2003.
Wow.
So in some, blog somewhere, blurb somewhere, it said, Burt Reynolds is now the new spokesperson for Midas. Dan Castellaneta, Homer Simpson, is now making $360,000 a week for his new episode. And Steve Abbott just booked a Hellman's commercial. It was so funny.
Wow.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So that was pretty
man.
cool.
That is pretty
That's
cool.
crazy. Now you wouldn't see that now,
No,
right?
no, yeah.
Okay.
But
So-
it was just,
You got all these commercials.
yeah.
And things are really good. And what brought you back here?
This is a story I want to tell. Okay, so you asked this earlier. So the one was for Life Cereal, and I'll never forget this. I was thinking about
love
this.
Life
I do
Cereal.
too. So it's Life Cereal, and again, I'm on the commercial train. You know
were
what I
Right.
mean?
Mikey.
So now
Yeah.
you're almost like a commercial actor.
Yeah, right.
And that's
yeah.
what you're booking.
That's what Jason said. It was funny, that guy Jason, who I mentioned from college,
Yeah.
said too, because I was like kind of miserable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I wasn't doing what I want to do. And Brendan and I talk about this all the time. We set out to go do film and TV.
Right.
And we weren't getting, I wasn't even getting the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Jason's like, again, glasses half full. He's like, "Dude, you're not bartending, you're not waiting tables, you're making a living as a
You're
commercial
still
actor.
doing-
Right.
Stop
right.
complaining."
Yeah.
I'm like, "You're right."
Yeah.
Okay, so I go up for a Life cereal commercial, and it was 2 spots. I think it was Cinnamon Life or whatever it was, and I get it. And I went in for and I was trying to think of the name of the show, and I can't remember the show. But Christian Slater's mom was a casting director. and I was playing a cop, and it was a cop versus the mob type show. I mean, I was perfect for it. So I went in for it, you know, and again, this is 30 years ago, so I'm in much better shape.
Yeah.
And you know, I still got my jeans, my tight
We all
blue
were, Steve.
my tight blue shirt on.
Yeah.
I go in and book it. Booked it on the spot.
Wow.
The TV show. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I booked the Life cereal commercial too.
In the same day?
Yeah. And I couldn't do either of them. I couldn't do both. So then, you know, of course, my agent calls me, and I'm like, and again, it was yesterday, because I remember looking out the window going, I want to do the cop show. The cop show was what, maybe $1,000 and you get some residuals.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm on TV. It builds my resume. Blah 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then, but my agent, of course, and again, I'm not, you know, looking back.
Yeah.
You got a kid coming. You know what I mean? And it's a national commercial. Probably make like 20 grand. You
Yeah.
know? And of course, I'm begging, going, can't we shoot this on any other day?
Yeah.
You know? And both of them said, no, you have to pick. And I picked the Life series. I want to do the cop show. And
Yeah.
my ex and my agent, of course, like do the national commercial.
Right.
The national commercial didn't go to air. So I didn't get paid. I got paid the day. I made $500 off the
You
day
made
rate.
it for the day
For
that
the
you
day, the
worked.
session fee. Yep.
and that's it.
Oh,
Oh, for
boy.
God's
It was
sakes.
horrible.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's
you
only
must
happened to me twice in my life.
You must. Well,
Yeah.
you can't look back. It is
Yeah.
what it is. Man.
Yeah. But again,
You
that's
know.
the thing. That's the thing, though. It would change. Maybe, and I was talking about this the other day, too. I guess in Chicago, I auditioned for the Batman movie, and I got 4 callbacks. That was a big deal.
The one with Michael
the dark-
Keaton.
No. The one after that, the first one with Christian Bale. And it was cool because it was a
Wow.
cop. It was a
Batman
cop in the
Begins.
car. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Batman
It was in
Begins.
Chicago. 4 callbacks. I mean, it was legit, and it was funny because one of my director friends, you know, he was super knowledgeable. He's like, "You're going to be in the trailer. You're going to be in this or whatever." It was ever like 2 lines. Because funny, I remember the lines now. I was like, "It's a tank," because you're describing the new Batmobile. You're like,
Right.
it's a tank. It's a blood, and it was in the trailer too. It's a tank. It's a blah blah blah. And then the cop car gets rolled over. What
So
am I
you
trying to
were-
say?
oh,
I didn't get it.
Oh, okay.
Didn't get another movie. This I remember actually. The other movie was Fred Claus with Vince Vaughn. I remember this because I got really far on that too, like to the 4th callback. And I remember this because
Wow.
Vince. It was just, I don't want to say snarky is the word, but she was, make sure you can keep up with Vince improvising. And I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You
So-
know what I mean?
And I don't want to
No,
skip
go do it,
stuff,
do it.
but
Yeah.
but what are you doing now? What and you know what? And we can go over our time, so
Yeah,
don't worry.
yeah.
So what do you? I want to know what you're working on now.
Yep.
But the other thing is, tell people that are in the business,
Yeah.
like Cindy and I,
Yeah.
how you get things, how you look for things, and
Yeah.
like how you. I mean, you're telling us how you got these things in the past,
Right.
but what are you doing now, and how
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
go out and get them now?
Yeah, that's a great question because that's what I was thinking about today. How like it's a never-ending hustle. It really is. You know. I mean,
It's your
and that-
business. I
the
mean,
nice
you
thing-
are
yeah,
the business.
You're the business. It was funny because I was listening to Andrew. I watched obviously the podcast with Chris and Andrew, and like, yeah, you're a product. You're you know, they're marketing you a certain way, and that's what I was trying to. That was the point I was trying to get to before. Is like if I booked that. You know, if I book the Batman and the Fred Claus, and that's on my resume, that changes the whole trajectory of my career.
Right.
Because then all of a sudden you got 2 major films.
Right.
In there, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then doors are opening up. And I'm not complaining. I just kind of fell in this commercial lane,
Yeah.
and that's kind of where I ended up, and that's fine. But to answer your question, I right now I was talking about this the other day because some mutual friend was asking me about this. Like, so I have agents in each region because they do it by regions now. So I have the Northeast, you know, I have my New York agents, and then in Florida they actually they divide it down there. They do the South and the the South and the North, and then your Florida, the Southeast, your Florida agent can represent you for Atlanta and all the work that's going on in Atlanta. And then in LA, I still have an agent on LA. I don't have a commercial agent anymore because you really have to be there now, which I called my old agent. I said, hey, I'm thinking about going back to LA. And he's like, you got to live here. And I'm like, I don't want to live in LA anymore.
So if
that's
you
a tricky thing.
book, like say you book something in LA,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you have an agent out in LA.
Yeah.
Do you have to share that with any other people or no? You know,
No.
like, you know how
No.
around here, like if you book something, you know, like you can only be like with one, you know what I mean?
Right,
Or
yeah.
you got to pay 10%.
Yeah.
Is that's not like that with an agent?
No, they're just, and that's the nice thing about the regions is like, It was because
If they book you, that you.
if they
They-
book you, they're getting it.
You don't.
right.
Yeah, you don't.
And
have
they're
to,
not right. My Florida agent's not going to submit me for New York, and my New York agent's not going to
Yeah.
submit me for Florida.
Yeah.
But again, the tricky thing about LA is that, and it wasn't that because everyone was self-taping. So like, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just self-tape and not have to live in LA. But like now they're starting to do a lot of in-person auditions there again. So
Oh, really?
yeah. I just found that out like last year, I guess.
So people are moving back.
I don't know if they're moving back, but you do have to be in the mix and be out there.
Yeah.
Where you didn't have
Or
to be
going back, but
before.
you go back and forth
Yeah,
to Florida. So
yeah.
where's more work in Florida?
In during the winter season from November to May,
Yeah.
there's a lot more work because it's so hot down there.
So is
during
it
the summer, yeah.
like it's enough for a full time?
It
job?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. There's a ton of work, and it is funny because it's fit. It makes sense because it's fifth out of all the states. With the union.
Yeah.
It's L.A., New York. The basic, but Florida has a ton of work. There's a ton in Miami, and there's a ton in Orlando.
Yeah.
They're always shooting something there.
Now you booked the heft. I don't know
That
if
was
it's
in Florida. Yeah.
Was that the hefty bag with John Cena?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now
Yeah.
that
No kidding.
Yeah.
that's a national
Yeah.
commercial.
Yeah.
So are you keep booking national
Yeah.
commercials?
But John Cena also lives in Florida. Is that correct?
I think he does.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he lives in. But
That's probably where they shot
is
it
that
there.
where is
Yeah.
that where you shot it in
Yeah.
Florida? Because I
Yeah.
believe that's where he's.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of those.
Scott Bale
Wrestlers
lives there now.
are in
Oh, the
Florida.
wrestlers are all. Yeah,
Well,
that
they're in
makes
that
sense.
Tampa
But you're
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
They're all around that Tampa
That's
St.
true.
Pete
Yeah,
area.
that's
but
right.
but
That's where I live in Ontario.
you're still booking and doing well with national commercials.
Yeah.
But are you still pursuing the movie
Yeah.
outlet too?
See, that's so funny because that's what I did want to talk about. Is like, so right now, what do I have running?
Because
right
I
now?
met you on the set of Cabrini,
Yeah.
and your picture
5 seconds of fame.
was huge. Like he was one of the richer.
Yeah.
He was the richer people. I was the poor. So the only time I sat, this is my makeup chair story. They put dirt on my face, like brown,
Right.
because I was an immigrant.
We'll remember that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like I got dirt on my face. Oh, and I stood in for a whore. So I was standing for a whore. That's my story. But that's where I met you. So
Yeah.
like I know you're doing well commercial wise, but
Yeah.
you still have that pursuit of the dream of
That's a great.
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
No,
of
that's-
being in the
that's-
movies still.
That's legit.
Because you're obviously so talented
Yeah.
and your resume
It's
is
extensive.
It's like
That's
huge.
That's what I'm going to spin this full circle because that's what I really wanted to talk about. I was thinking about this the other day.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, like in '95. So this is 30 years ago, and I heard Cillian Murphy say this, and it's kind of true. It takes 30 years to build a career. It really does. And I remember in 1995 when I was living in Hollywood, I was living on Beechwood Avenue where the Hollywood sign was. My roommate at the time worked at a talent agency. And he said that to me. He goes, the hardest thing he goes, you're in a tough spot though. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, you have range. You can act and you have range. And that's
Right.
the hardest thing to sell. And he was right. Like I look back and instead of just going, hey, you're this guy or you're the blue collar guy or you fit in this niche.
Right.
Like I could, play a cop or go be funny or go
Right,
do this and
right.
that. That's the hardest thing to sell in the entertainment industry. But now the nice thing is you can make your own work. And to answer your question though, I don't have the passion, the drive that I used to have. And in some regards, I've gotten a little lazy.
Yeah.
You know
when
what I
it
mean?
comes to the movie.
Yeah, and the film and TV.
Yeah,
I
because
was
you're
talking about
very
this the other day.
Yeah. Because you're
You know?
like in a lot of like the infomercials,
Right.
The national infomercials
And
and,
they pay.
stuff
That's
like that.
that's what I was gonna. That's what I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about today. Is like so right now the Salino's running, which is nice. I got a Dick's Sporting Goods coming up, but the hefty.
That's national though, right?
Yeah.
Is Dick's
Yeah,
Dick's
so
okay.
that'll be
Yeah.
that's coming out over Christmas.
Right.
But that's what I was thinking about today. Is that like as grateful as I am for the hefty commercial, it was the least creative. It wasn't gratifying at all.
Right.
Because I'm just standing in the back. I did nothing. I stood
Will
in the
we
back of the
see
truck.
that or no?
Oh yeah. It's
Okay.
airing right. Yeah.
Is it's airing now?
They actually just put it. It kind of sucks because they just put it on hold. So I got a holding fee from whatever so it might go to air again in November 1st.
Because it was
yeah.
already on, right?
Yeah. So they
okay. I thought so.
So I have the contract for 2 years.
Yeah.
And so I just got to hold it because I thought it was going to go back to air again, but it didn't. But it might go back to air in January.
Okay.
There's
I just
so
gotta hold it.
there is so much to talk to you about.
Yeah.
That's
that we're going to
crazy.
have you on again because
Well, and-
we want to hear more. I also
Yeah.
want to hear about like how
you
you
also
go after
write,
how
too,
you
yeah.
go after
Yeah.
jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been doing this for a
Yeah.
long time, and a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
young, especially people are trying to break into this.
Yeah.
They don't see some, they have maybe the stars in their eyes. I want to be in film and TV,
Yeah.
but commercial stuff is
Yeah.
good. It's been
Yeah.
good to you, obviously, and how you get represented, things like that. There's so much to talk to you about in that area. I mean, we've covered so much.
But you're also a writer as well.
Yeah, tell us a little
Yeah.
bit. We've got a little time here, so tell us what you're
That's
writing,
one-
and are you writing something? Are you working on something?
Yeah, we're working on
Besides
something.
the 48,
Yeah.
Steve did the 48.
Yeah, I didn't
The
I didn't go on AD. I didn't get to see your
The
film.
film was
but
called
I will.
Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
With Paul.
I heard
what's
it was
Paul's last name?
amazing.
For now.
Fanera
Yeah.
and Courtney,
Yeah.
and it is a really good
heard
film.
all
I
about it.
saw it,
Yeah.
and I really enjoyed that film.
Yeah.
So tell us. I know you're
Yeah.
writing.
Yeah.
Cindy said, "What are you working on?"
Yeah, right now we're working on that's you know what that's the funny that's the I was going to say for the nice thing about the industry now, you can create your own work.
Right.
You could and it goes back to Rocky. It still goes back to write your own stuff and create your own stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what again my friend Brendan and I who are still in it and now we're 55 years old. We're like let's just write stuff.
Right.
So he wrote some FBI thing for himself because that's what he falls into.
Yeah.
But the thing that Jason Jurwitz and I are like throwing around that I wrote, it's called we're going to call it 55 plus, and not like the 90210 thing.
Yeah.
Because I wrote this probably a year ago.
Yeah.
But I had this idea about a guy who gets divorced and his life
Right.
is just falling apart. So he says, "Oh, maybe I'll swear." Anyway, I haven't sworn yet.
Yeah.
He says, "Screw
You're
it."
allowed to. Yeah.
He says, "Screw it," and he moves into a 55 plus community.
Oh yeah.
And he starts fleecing all the.
Now you wrote that's done and
I've
written,
it,
and you're
yeah.
gonna.
I was gonna have Roz play. I've already cast in my head.
Yeah.
But Roz playing my wife.
Yeah.
Linda's daughter. It's a great. In episode 2, it was funny because I was gonna write as a film, and then Jason and I were like, it actually works better.
As episodic.
As episodic, yeah, 22
Right.
minutes. But in the second episode, Linda's daughter.
Capri.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Capri,
Yeah.
yeah, because I don't know her.
She's
But,
very talented.
that's what I've heard. I heard
Yeah.
she's super
She
talented.
Yeah.
was on actually an episode of Matlock with Kathy Bates.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great picture of Linda.
Yeah.
Had posted a lot of great pictures of
Yeah.
Capri and
Linda's
Linda.
amazing.
Linda's an amazing
Yeah.
She's good,
actress
too.
too.
Yeah.
And but yeah,
Yeah. So the
go
first
ahead.
episode. So the first episode, obviously, it's a pilot, the setup episode.
Yeah.
So I'm divorced. Chris is going to play my neighbor. He doesn't speak at
Right.
all, which is great.
Yeah.
And every time he goes to speak, I interrupt him.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you think of that? I know what you know. And,
Yeah.
and he can do it great.
That's-
I'm like, all you have to do is
That's Chris is very talented.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
Chris is cast already.
Yeah.
So all he's gonna do is give funny reactions, and then Roz is just gonna give me a hard time. And I was supposed to put in the pool, and I paved over my pool. So then she's just taking shots at me. I'm like, why don't you dive off the pool?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
And then in the second episode, it's the segue to the second episode, is that Capri walks out, and I say to Chris, I'm like, I'm not even sure if that's my kid.
Yeah.
It's a great joke, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then I talk about the next episode. We went to Sicily one time. We insinuate that Roz slept with one of the waiters or something. So, and then episode 3 was the one I called you about,
Yeah.
where I'm out there dating.
I hope I'm still
out there
in
dating-
it.
Oh no, you're cast.
Because
We have
I
to
got a
shoot
lot of
that.
characters in my
Oh, that
package.
character.
I can
Steve,
be a good neighbor.
You know.
too.
Yeah.
But let me just
Yeah.
ask Steve this,
Yeah.
and because we're in Buffalo,
Yeah.
what is your opinion on the Buffalo scene? Like,
Yeah.
is it here? Is
Yeah.
it coming? Or is it
Yeah.
only, like, because we do have a lot of those movies coming.
Yeah.
There's some day player,
Right.
roles and stuff like that. Like, what do
Yeah.
you think?
I think on the and negative is a strong word, but like how many films have they really shot in that studio that they built? I don't even know how many years
And
ago.
on Niagara Street, the,
And
the
yeah,
new one.
Yeah, it's I don't know. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm a little negative, like how
Right.
much they bring in.
Right.
But they really are shooting 20 Christmas movies here
Yeah.
because between Frank and casting Buffalo,
Right.
and I was supposed to. That's tricky. It's
Yeah.
a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
But there's definitely work here.
Yeah.
My only pet peeve, which I kind of do get, is that they cast a lot of people from and they do this all the time.
Yeah.
They cast them from the major cities
Yeah.
in New York for the actual
Yeah.
roles.
Right.
And but there's work to be had here for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's a great independent community here where they make a lot of good stuff.
A lot
Yeah.
of independent stuff.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of great schools here. You know, definitely a good training ground, but
Yeah.
I didn't believe it either. And it was so funny because again, Chris and I were talking about the 20 films, and then my mom's like, you know that because I'm like, I'm going back to Florida. She's like, you know, they're filming 20 films, or she's trying to keep me here. But so there. All right,
So
yeah.
before we leave, and we're going to wrap this up, and we're going to have you back.
Yeah.
There's no way we can end it this way because there's so much more to talk to you about, and your experiences dealing with agents and managers and sets and things like that.
Just
There's a lot
advice
that
alone,
people
yeah.
need to know, and I know Cindy and I learn. Like you said, being on the set as just a stand-in, you learn so much by keeping your mouth shut and sitting down, and because that's what you got to do.
Right.
You guys left the Bills game early. So
This
you
is
got
how we
1
went?
minute to tell. Chris put it all on
So-
you, by the way.
Oh, he blamed me.
He put it
Yeah.
all on you on the show that we had Chris and Andrew on.
I asked him
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
So he
You
put,
guys,
you
let's
got
just say
1
you're
minute
bad
to defend yourself.
Bills fans. There's no defending that.
No, there
is no
Leaving the
defense.
game 1 minute and 41. No, wait, four minutes
and 10 seconds.
4 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game.
And you guys lost.
Best
only-
comeback ever.
The only
Not really. Not the best comeback.
Wow.
But a great comeback.
Pretty up there.
what I would like
the
to
second
know,
best.
what I would like to, and I've to believe me, we got so much grief. I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
The only two that defended me were my brother-in-law and my sister.
Yeah.
Because they said, when you left, there was a 1% chance that they were gonna,
Yeah.
It was 11.
I think
Doesn't
it's
matter,
Was it
indefensible.
Sunday night?
Doesn't
Sunday
Listen,
night game?
if you're a
It was a
Bills
Sunday
fan,
night game.
I don't
Right.
care. You stay to the very end.
Right.
From now on, Steve.
With Josh Allen.
I turned. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Say,
No,
say what you got to say.
I turned to. It's 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
I turned. to-
Past your bedtime.
It is right.
Yeah.
Seriously, I am
Mine's 8
like,
o'clock,
That's,
yeah.
No, I'm telling you, that's the
Yeah.
one thing about turning 55. I am
Yeah.
a pumpkin at
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
I
now.
know, right?
I couldn't make it to midnight if my life
Well,
depended on
Yeah.
it.
Steve, it's wonderful that you came in.
So great.
We appreciate you spending time with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Show
much.
number 20, Steve Abbott,
Yes.
Cindy, me. Great show.
Subscribe.
subscribe,
up.
Hit
subscribe.
that subscription button.
And
Yeah.
we'll see you for our next
On the
show
flip
and our
side.
next guest.
Yep.
Thank you. Have a good evening or day, whatever it airs.
Yeah.